Hudson here. Welcome, everybody. We have the great Shaquille O'Neal and the equally great, in some minds, Kennedy Jeff Smith. We'll watch the Brooklyn Nets in this one as they go up against the Golden State Warriors at Oracle Arena. For Golden State, it's been a very successful first half of the season for them. When the opportunity to win a ball game has been there for them, they have grabbed it over and over. And Stephen Curry, one of the guys you'll be seeing tonight. This guy is, you know what I like to say, don't you, Kenny? He makes it look effortless. Is it fair to call him the best player in the league at this point?
There's no way to effectively guard him. So calling him the best player might be a name that should be tagged on to Stephen Curry. There are some names to consider. Obviously, LeBron James, I can go down the list, but Steph Curry is at the top right now.
His efficiency, proficiency, and his ability to take over a game arguably make him the best. He gets it done every night. It's like we're watching a video game when we watch this guy play.
Yeah, I've never seen a video game actually play basketball. It's amazing.
NBA 2K17, this guy.
I'm actually, I gotta watch that, man.
You know what I like to say about him? He makes it look effortless. Kevin?
At the Oracle Arena as the Golden State Warriors look to grab a win from the home crowd here. This is Kevin Harlan. We've got Chris Webber and Greg Anthony with us, and from the sideline, we'll be hearing from David Aldridge. The Nets will have to stop on their travel schedule in today's matchup.
And speaking of the trade, I spoke to him earlier, and man, was he excited about getting the opportunity at a fresh start. He thinks he'll be able to get them to that next level. And I'm sure that's what their thought process was when they made the deal.
Here are the starters for Brooklyn. We've got LeVert. Brook Lopez is out there with Anderson. Then it's Vasquez. And it's Bogdanovich in at the 3 slot. Well, we hear so much about Curry and his offense, and rightly so. But you know what, Chris? He's an above-average defender in his own right.
He's not going to be considered one of the best all-time defenders at his position, but he is a very solid defender and has improved in that area every year he's been in the league.
Lopez a screen. Vasquez kicks to Lopez. And a kind roll that time off the rim as that one falls.
Excellent vision right there on that assist. Perfect setup.
Ripped away. Here's LeVert. He's covered by Thompson. And about a minute gone here in the first quarter. Here's Vasquez. And Pachulia pulls it down. Pass to Thompson. The rebound by Anderson.
That's not the type of opportunity he fails to convert very often.
First quarter of play with about a minute and a half gone. That one good for two. On defense, Brooklyn, 4-point game. Fresh from a win against the Nuggets.
And the deciding factor in that one was their success from the court. They just hit big shots time and time again.
Extremely accurate and efficient. Strong performance on the road. Took the pass right out of it.
Here's Vasquez, following the score by Golden State. Anderson outside. Pass to LeVert. Let's keep it alive. Lopez. Off the left rim out. Brooklyn on defense. Let's send it over to David Aldridge, who caught up with head coach Kenny Atkinson. DA.
Well, Kevin, they have a specific approach to tonight's game. He told me we have to get the ball into the paint as much as possible and take advantage of what they believe is a big inch for them inside. We'll see if they're right about that tonight. Back to you.
Thanks so much, David. And there's the call on Pachulia. That's his first foul. Here in the first, just under 2.5 minutes played so far. Anderson outside, and it's Bogdanovich in the corner. Here's Vasquez. A three-pointer off the mark.
Defense put the big Chris Stevens wide open. They got lucky. He planked that outside shot.
And the wide open shot from Green. It's good from long range. Green's got 5 more.
Oh, that shot looks so good now. I love the backspin, the follow through. You can tell Draymond's been working on it.
About 3 minutes gone here in the first quarter. Latrey. And the rebound goes to the Warriors. They come into this having outplayed the Clippers last game.
You know, they played well enough to win. To be honest with you, I just felt like their opponent's defensive performance was shaky at best.
I mean, you can say it. The defense was awful. They took away nothing and got scored on relentless.
Here's LeVert following the basket by Draymond Green. A nice shot by LeVert.
He's not the most comfortable shooter from beyond the arc, but he looked in sync that time.
Curry kicks to Pachulia. Green, the screen. Here's Curry. Well, first the All-Star break is behind us. Every team now looking to get things clicking and finish the season strong.
Well, unless you're really out of it, you want to start pushing and start playing.
Oh, come on. You missed 2 free throws.
He's going to be going all out now.
Yes. Lynette's making the switch here. Hollis Jefferson's checked in. Lopez, no what? Warriors have gone 3 of 5 shooting the ball so far. Out to Thompson. Golden State moving the ball around. Curry dishes to Thompson. Back to Curry. 6 on the shot clock. It's going to be 2 free throws. True contact on the shot. Well, one thing about Draymond Green, he isn't very bashful when it comes to sharing what's on his mind.
But Draymond knows what he's about. He can back up everything he says. The team doesn't mind when he'll call someone out in the media or take a verbal jab, because when he messes up, he's the first to call himself out to a reporter. Green essentially is that guy who is saying to the media what every other NBA player really wants to say. Cold start to this game for him. A lot of his shots have been off.
Here's Hollis Jefferson, defended by Durant, and they will get the first here, folks, as they roll goaltender.
Almost got to that shot in time. Just a split second late there. Caught it just barely on its way down.
West is checked in for Golden State, and it's Green with the jam.
I mean, you have to love the awareness of Curry. Sick. Look to find it on the team.
The Nets have gone 5 of 12 from the field since the opening tip. Bogdanovich passes to LeVert. Nice D from Durant.
A frustrating start to this quarter.
To the inside, Thompson. The rebound by Anderson. Brooklyn trailing. pass to LeVert. Here's Lopez. He can't get it to go. West with some nice D. Curry kicks to Thompson. And it's Thompson with the jam.
Well, the recognition of when to shoot, when to drive, Clay's got down.
And the first time out called in for Brooklyn.
Well, many have wondered if Klay Thompson would be happy being the second option on offense. He's a great enough shooter and scorer to be the first option on most other teams. He's a team player and says he's happy with his role and prefers winning over stats.
And many players will say they prefer winning over being the man, but Klay backs it up. He knows that Curry is perhaps the best shooter ever. And Chris Klay compliments him perfectly.
Well, that's not the easiest thing to do as an NBA player. Defer to someone when you know you're just as great. Klay has been the epitome of a teammate and has been a great second option on offense. He still gets plenty of recognition when he goes off to one of his sick hot streaks, though.
Changes for Brooklyn. Kupas comes in for Brook Lopez. And it's Luis Scola in for Ryan Anderson. Here's Bogdanovich. He's covered by Thompson.
Well, he hasn't been much of a shot blocker in his career, but Klay provides that.
They've been leading them to a lot of those loose ball and rebounds here this summer.
Next for about 6. Outside Scola. Looking to end the run. That one doesn't drop. And it's the Warriors taking it the other way. They traveled to Brooklyn last time they faced the Nets, and they came away with a win.
And really an emphatic win for them, especially considering that it came in an opponent's building, and there's no question it was their offense that carried them.
Oh, man, yeah, he scored in a number of ways. Half-court transition, inside, outside. They just unstoppable.
Now here's Scola. Followed in the miss by David West. And again, it's the Nets missing. Curry dishes to West. Passes it to Hollis Jefferson. He's been up and in off the pretty assist. Hollis Jefferson's got 5.
And they've scored several times already here, quarter on the inside.
Curry kicks to Green. Here's the screen. Green draws the dunk. A shot by Thompson. No one's around. Good. Green picking up the assist.
Well, that's 2 bombs that are coming from Raw right.
The feed to Kufis. Stolen by Thompson. It's West with the draw. And stolen by Kufis. Here's LeVert. Currently averaging almost 6 points a game.
And boy, has he been struggling big time here in the court.
But it hasn't been his best, just to say the least. He just needs to calm down out there and let the game come in.
And Brooklyn has possession. After the missed 3 from Stephen Curry. And he uses the glass on the lane.
Yeah, and there it is again. On a lot of their possessions this first half, they've established great inside position.
Hit by West. Curry gets to Durant. Goes up on the pick. And then Durant with the top.
Oh, and Durant covers so much ground when he puts it on the floor. You just can't keep him from going where he wants.
Next for about 7. Kicks it to Kufis. Here's Bogdanovich. He had 10 points in the win against Denver. And it's LeVert missing.
And they come out with a take-home prisoners approach on the glass here tonight, guys.
Curry is inside. And the layup falls. And now it's a 9-point Warrior lead.
Oh, this is the kind of start they were hoping for.
Now the dish to Kufis. Here's Bogdanovich. Takes the assist and lays it in. Picked out the pass nicely. Bogdanovich has got his first basket. Outside Curry. Here's Green. He feeds it to West. And he was fouled on the way out. 2 free throws now for him. Now we have a moment to look at how the blocks have been stacking up over the past several months for Anderson.
But we're just not seeing that same fierceness out of him defensively these last few months. He's lost a little bit of that intimidation factor. He's not blocking as many shots, and he's not making the same impact on that end of the floor.
He misses the free throw.
Man, they are just living at the line.
And some changes here for the Warriors. Anderson Varejao checked in for Green. Iguodala comes in for Kevin Durant. And Jeremy Lamb subbed in for Thompson. And a change for the Nets. Dennis checked in. Here's Hollis Jefferson. 5 points in the game. Great D that time for Iguodala.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
And Lamb kicks to Curry. Down low. And there's Varejao. That's good on the assist by Curry. Curry's got his 5th assist in this one. Feeds to Koufos. Hollis Jefferson passes to Stoker. That's in. He found his range with that one. Now 1 for 2.
And they repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid off.
Lamb dishes to Curry. He kicks to Lamb. Varejao passes to Iguodala. Outside Curry. And here's West for 3. Rebound Brooklyn.
They've been sensational on the backboard to start this game.
Inside, Stola. That one falls. His 2nd basket of the game. He's now 2 for 3.
He's shooting a fantastic mark from the field to begin this.
Here's Lamb. Luis Stola with the rebound.
And you're just not going to see him do that very often. Usually when he rises up, there's a guarantee it's going down.
Here's LeVert. There's Hollis Jefferson. The offense coming pretty easy as we wrap up the first quarter. Warriors ahead. They're up by 5. It's the NBA on 2K Sports from Oracle Arena in Oakland, California. Still feels like he has room to grow, and he gives us some insight into that philosophy.
I think it's another level I can go to. Always can be better. That's how I look at things. Teammates need me more than ever now. Coaches need more from me, so I got to dig deep and see where I can find it from.
And with all the weapons around him now, it'll be harder to deny him the ball. And now the second quarter just getting set to start. And from what we've seen so far from the Warriors, how would you grade them?
And we've really seen them get out and establish a real nice rhythm offensively in this game.
Yeah, entering the game with a terrific strategy. The guys are working together, feeding off of one another. That's being reflected in the stats you did in the score.
And Brooklyn, look at who they've got. We've got Bennett. Hollis Jefferson is out there with Estes. And it's Brook Lopez. And it's Anderson in at the power forward position. And keeping us a bit from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Well, guys, there's no doubt that the Splash Brothers are the most dangerous backcourt in the NBA. Steph Curry is the MVP, but he said to Klay Thompson, I love playing with him. How much better he's gotten since day one is kind of scary. He's such a great two-way player, and he isn't anywhere close to hitting his ceiling.
That's the they're one hell of a tag team. Now here's Lamb. Bryant so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. Here's Varejao outside for Curry. He dishes it to Lamb. Just 5 to shoot. Passed up a 2. On deep. Rebound Brooklyn. Anderson's got his 3rd rebound tonight. And we see the growth of the three-point shooting big man. The stretch forward to the Ryan Anderson was at the forefront, it seems, of that movement.
Yeah, especially at his volume of threes. He's never been just a secondary floor spacer. He's a go-to scoring threat with his outside shooting.
Green is checked in for Anderson Varejao. Bogdanovich is checked in for Brooklyn. Shoots from the right block. Second shot opportunity. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
And with the offense getting right to the rim, at least they saved the layup.
Well, that's shooting their 4th and 5th attempts at the free throw line tonight.
And I think this is a strength of this team. Solid numbers at the line across the board, 77% collectively.
And now the fast break Anderson with the ball. It's good. This game is all even. Anderson's got 5 points so far. Golden State's gone 3 of 6 tonight when they let it fly from downtown. Outside for Curry. Over in the corner, Green. The rebound by Anderson. Anderson's got his 4th rebound in this one. Jacks up a 3. Vasquez can't get it to go.
Where you'll see him miss such an open look.
And there it is for him. 16 points for Draymond Green.
Guys, his consistency in terms of shooting has really helped them seize control.
And a little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second quarter. Now the Warriors moving it up. Green slams it in.
We know about the playmaking ability of Draymond. I mean, but he's showing that he's just a prolific scorer.
To the inside. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Pachulia. And a brief moment now to see who's atop the NBA in team free throws. The Warriors, number 1.
You can't be careless when you play them. I mean, no wasted opportunities at the line. It's a team effort, and they're getting it done.
And we're now a little over 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Anderson can't get it to go.
The defense got super lucky there because he does not miss many of those.
Green kicks to Iguodala. Williams, Green picking up the assist. And now a 7-point Warrior lead.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
Anderson the screen. Vasquez kicks to Lopez. This is to Vasquez. And they come right back with their own 3-pointer. Vasquez has got 5 minutes.
And how about that? Responding to the 3-pointer against them with a quick one of their own.
I like that style. Lose 3 points, hit them right back and have them again. That's good basketball.
Taking it to the rack with power.
Hammering down the 2-hand slam. Lopez outside. And Thomas Jefferson, top of the key. They set the pick. Back to Lopez. 16 feet away. The Warriors pull it in. Pachulia's got his 5th rebound in this one.
Now this would be a totally different ball game if this shot was on target like it usually is.
And kicks to Curry. Picked by Pachulia. 6 to shoot. Kicks it out to Iguodala. Pass to Lamb. Iguodala dishes to Pachulia. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Pachulia's got 4 points this quarter.
And this has been a great job of just getting into the middle of that defense and really scoring effectively from the paint.
Anderson is screwed on Curry. He gets stolen by Lamb. Iguodala the pass to Curry. The feed to Lamb. Back to Curry. Puts it up from 12. Iguodala. No good. Nets trail by 8. And you know, there was so much excitement surrounding the Nets when they finished the New Arena in Brooklyn in 2012. They traded for Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett to try to fast-track their success. But that win-now strategy really failed.
Yeah, and that's what can happen when you mortgage your future. Short-term goals can lead to that long-term misery. And they still have some pieces they can build around. We'll see what additional talent they can attract going forward.
Now here's Lamb. Looking for his first basket so in this one. And Pachulia with the jumper.
Just powered it down with both hands. No, he's not going to miss that one.
Not this fella. He is a superb finisher. Timeout called the Nets. In addition to going over the game plan and making whatever necessary adjustments have to be made, Greg, this time is also the time for players to get rehydrated or hydrate for the first time with some Gatorade. Plenty of basketball still to be played here, and they have to get recharged.
That's a great point. Without proper hydration, a player can completely run out of gas down the stretch of the game. And that's something that we need to afford to have happen. If you're going to battle all the way to the finish, you have got to be able to.
That's the type of play that gets a player and his teammates fired up. Durant gets the contact and still finds a way to hit the shot.
And he's got his first chance at the line here.
In their last contest, guys, he was unconscious from the foul line.
Here's LeVert. Here's the screen. Vasquez kicks to Kuzma. He got right to the cup using that screen.
Perfect screen there. Set him up with a terrific look.
Nice off-the-ball movement, action to free him up for a shot he makes on a regular basis. Outstanding work.
And Coach Kuzma is such a valuable player to have off the bench for a team, Chris. Gives you spacing and size and really knows how to play within himself.
Okay, Kuzma is usually productive in whatever role he's playing for the team. His versatility to start or to be the first big off the bench is really what makes him valuable.
And the clock. Here's Pachulia. The basket good off the assist from Durant. Pachulia's got 8 points.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
Now here's Vasquez. 5 points in the game. Here's Scola. And it's blocked.
And with the success they've had rebounding basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in the driver's seat.
Here's Lamb. And a foul in the shot. He'll go to the strike for 2.
To many, Jeremy Lamb will probably always be known for being a piece of that James Harden trade. He's still a young player and is starting to make his way in the NBA.
Come
He shows
on.
flashes of where you can see his potential.
Anthony Bennett checked in for Bogdanovich.
Now, after that great college tournament, we all remember Jeremy Lamb performing in. Lamb was drafted 12th overall by the Rockets, but his career had a bit of a seesaw for a while.
Here's LeVert. The pass to Kuzma. They set the screen. And Durant sends it back. And they turn over the 24-second buzzer, signaling the shot clock violation. Iguodala with it. Now defended by Bennett. Durant dishes to Thompson. Lets the 3 fly. Kuzma grabs the miss. And with Lamb, Chris, his game is coming along.
Well, a big step for him was getting out of OKC to a situation where he wasn't looked at as a replacement for anyone. Now he can just work on his game, free of any expectation, and see how far he can go.
Now here's Durant. He had 37 points in the win against the Clippers. And the jam by Kevin Durant.
You want no part of that when Durant gets speed going into the stepping in the way is a fast track to ending up on the poster.
They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure. And if that doesn't get too fired up, guys, nothing will.
Greg just with the top to order. Now some high-flying antics to narrow the deficit.
Well, also a miscommunication on defense. No one rotates over. See ya.
Thompson in the corner. Charity swipe shot. Again, Golden State.
Anyone can hit a shot that long. The defense has to step up if they want any shot at winning this game.
Vasquez kicks to Kuzma. Vasquez with it. He has 5. Busts the J after the cagey pass fake. Vasquez has got 7 points.
Now, I'm not saying that was the best play call, but that's certainly the desired result.
Lamb passes to Thompson. Count that as his 4th basket of the night. Just 7 shots to get there.
You know, don't sleep on Thompson's side. Efficiency in scoring, that's a big part of what makes him unique.
Vasquez kicks to Kuzma. Here's LeVert. No good there. The Warriors go the other way.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
Back to Thompson. And Thompson with the jam.
And that's going to increase the field goal percentage even more. They are a huge edge in that category.
Well, that's because their just taking smarter, high-quality shots. Not forcing anything. Just let the game come to them naturally.
Brooklyn with the ball. The Warriors making the shot. Bennett dishes to Vasquez. Passes it to Bennett. And Iguodala comes to help. Nice ball movement by Brooklyn. Kicks to Bennett. Lets it go with a three. And Pachulia pulls it down. Pachulia's got rebound number 8 now on the night. And stolen by Kufis. And so a pretty lopsided game for the first half. The Warriors on top. They finish off the second quarter with an energy burst, a 19-7 run. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thank you, Kevin. Draymond, a strong first half offensively for the team. What are you doing right?
We're just letting them show us what's open. You got to just make sure we stay patient on the offensive end and let them tell us what play to make, where open man is. We've been doing a great job of that. We got to keep it up in the second half.
Yeah, the defense leads you to the open man. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks for the great interview, David. A third quarter basketball following halftime. And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey again, everybody. We've been watching a pretty lopsided game through the first half, that's for sure. I'm Ernie Johnson, joined again by Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Nobody had an answer for Draymond Green in the first. He had 18 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 assists. Taking a look at the Warriors, Kenny, what'd you think?
What a brilliant, unselfish half of basketball they just played. Their ball movement was absolutely impeccable. All in all, just beautiful basketball to watch.
And over to Shaq. What do you think about Brooklyn?
Well, you live by the 3 and you die by the 3. And today, they're dying. And as cold as they've been behind the arc, they keep firing from deep. What are you doing? I know they got a lot of ground to make up, but they can't continue with this game plan. Not working.
And that about wraps it up, as the second half is just moments away. Now down to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the crew, and we will see you after the game, won't we?
Yes, we will. Yes, we will.
And as we welcome you back, we begin our second half. So far, not a tightly contested game, guys, but anything can happen. A fantastic game from Draymond Green in this one.
Yeah, pretty much all throughout that first half. He was taking care of his business on the low blocks and getting more than his fair share of dunks.
The power he showed, the explosiveness, just a lethal combination inside.
Welcome back, everybody. Third quarter just about to get going here in what has been so full a runaway game. Third quarter action getting rolling right now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's who's on the floor. And Golden State looking who they picked. It's the Splash Brothers in the backcourt. Durant is out there with Draymond Green, and it's Pachulia in at the pivot spot, manning the middle.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in crafting this huge lead.
And Chris, when you look at the best rebounders around the NBA, it's interesting. Sometimes their teams rebound better with them off the floor. How do you explain that?
Well, you know what, Kevin, I think rebounding is different in all situations. I don't think that there's a litmus test or a statistic to prove anything about rebounding. If you look, I'm impressed with some of the best guards in this game. Westbrook, the Rondos, and others that have been known to lead their teams in rebounding. I think it comes down to one thing and one thing only, heart. I think technique is second. A lot of guys may not have learned how to box out, but the athleticism in the league is such that in order to get a rebound, you're going to have to earn it. And so for me, I think a lot of times as well, if you have great teammates that can box out, a lot of times they get rebounds for guys by not letting it be that much competition inside the paint. So for me, rebounding is a personal thing, whether it's a team, it's team specific, but it doesn't matter how big or tall you are. If you can box out, if you have heart, if you have a motor, if you have a will, you should be able to go get some boards. To me, it's just about how much you want it. To be a starter in this league, to play over 28 minutes, 30 minutes, and not average 10 rebounds, I think you should be ashamed of yourself.
And the one thing you can't speak enough about, Chris, with this Warriors team is They are just an offensive team. They have one of the toughest defenses in the league, too.
But just look at their rosters. Defenders at every position. And it isn't just defenders that can slow down one position. They have guys like Clay and Draymond who can guard multiple positions. That means you can switch. The versatility allows them to match up with anyone while throwing out their small ball liners.
We knew that Clay is one of the most explosive scorers in the game. That much was clear, Chris, when he put up his record-setting 37 points in the quarter.
And attention to all defenders. With Clay, it doesn't matter what you do if he is in that zone. He is tall enough not to be bothered by the hands in his face.
Get out of here.
He can just drill a shot from anywhere. That's why he's in danger to put up 20 or more points in a quarter every time he takes the floor, just like his other splash brother.
And we're just about 2 minutes into the second half now. Rocket 2, Bogdanovic drills the baseline jumper. Bogdanovic has got his second bucket of the night.
The defender was in position, but too fast to force a bad shot.
Curry kicks to Green. Picked by Bergeron.
Make a cut. Come on.
Outside, Green. Thompson passes to Curry. That's it. Coming off the assist from Thompson. And that's now 7 points for Steph Curry.
You know what? Teams are 100% focused on Steph defensively, yet he still creates space beyond the arc.
Now a timeout call by Brooklyn. A lot of great young talent, Chris, coming in the game. Who can be the face of the league in a few years, do you think?
Well, I really like Towns and Wiggins. I really like this Minnesota team. I think their team can become a fan favorite as we see the game go on. Also, Kyrie Irving. How about Kyrie Irving? Just won a championship. How about Davis, Anthony Davis? I just think we have some great young talent. Excited to see what the future holds.
So far.
And guys, got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came up right with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
And how about the explosiveness he shows, going from the offensive to the defensive end in a blink?
And that one's good by Lopez.
Oh, he took a terrific angle right there off the screen, something they work on every day in practice.
Curry dishes to Green. He feeds it to Bergeron. Some nice passing by Golden State. Curry can't get it to go.
Well, he hasn't started this game on the right foot, but it hasn't slowed his team from grabbing the lead.
Vasquez with it. Now Green defending. Takes the three. Vasquez can't get it to go.
It's almost like he's trying to make things hard on himself. You know, he's just got to slow the game down, try to get some easy ones.
Curry kicks to Bergeron. Right side, Green.
That's garbage.
Excellent D to force that miss there. That took real courage to risk being on the poster, being he's one of the best dunkers in the game.
And the shooting has really been there for him today, but he may have to take it upon himself to continue to carry this team and try and get out of this hole.
And the Warriors decide to take their first time out here.
Man, when you look at the Nets over the past couple of years, it's really astounding. I mean, they've been near the bottom of almost every major statistical category as a team. I mean, that means that they really have nothing to count on to stabilize themselves when they aren't going well in a game. And when you don't have an identity as a team, well, it is hard to find consistency.
Now here's Durant.
Nice, poor offense.
So far. And then to Green with the top.
Durant dunks the ball with such an effortless lift. He just goes up and throws it down like it's nothing.
Nets trail by 18. Vasquez with it. And Curry picks him up defensively. Lopez a screen. Here's Bogdanovic. He's been a nice option for them offensively. He's averaging more than 17 points a game. And on the topic of the Nets, it's hard to identify their calling card as a team because the roster break still seems to be in a state of flux.
And not many draft picks or trade assets. It really may come down to love the ones you're with, at least for a little while longer. I mean, they have some scorers, they have some playmakers. If they can just find a way to block out the noise and play their game, they can be an entertaining play.
Warriors leading by 17. Here's Curry, and 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot. And Brooklyn called for the foul.
You know what? It's so funny. There's a lot of discussion as to whether Steph is now the face of the league. You know, something Steph himself says he gets a little annoyed with the time.
Here's what Brooklyn's going with right now. Kufis checked in for Lopez. Scola comes in for Ryan Anderson. And Bennett subbed in for Bogdanovich. Now here's Vasquez. 10 points for him. And good that time. Vasquez has got 5 points now this quarter. Here's Curry. The dish to Thompson. Chris, you came up through college at Michigan, and in the NBA, you were an offensive force at all times and at a lot of different positions. More times than not, always the first option. Is the mindset you need to have to be the lead guy in offense for a team different than if you're a contributor? Can you make the switch from contributor to lead guy?
You know, that's a good question.
Oh, what a pass.
For me, even later in my career, when I couldn't contribute as much, I only still had
Not worth the replay.
mentality of the league.
Apparently.
So for me, I think the biggest thing is you need to know your skill set. And if you know who you are, if you know how you play, if you know how you can dominate what you can and can't do, then you're the best type of player. For me, I think that's where I serve myself best. And so, you know, I wanted to be dominant in all type of ways. And so it was scoring, it was rebounding, and it was passing. And so if you have a bad night in one of those categories, you can still be dominant in those other areas. And so for me, you always want to have the attitude.
This is Green's game, Reagan.
The best competitor on the team, regardless of what your role is.
Great perspective. And here's Bennett following Draymond Green's screen. Broke loose. And up the court come the Warriors on the break. Durant's running. Nice catch and finish on the alley-oop.
And for a guy who puts up huge scoring numbers almost on a nightly basis, plays on another planet right now.
For Brooklyn, they've gone a solid 6 of 11 when shooting here in the third quarter. Now a timeout called by Brooklyn.
Now, for all the things he does on the floor, the one thing you keep coming back to with Draymond Green is his defense. He's just a spectacular defender in every sense of the word. There is a reason many feel he's the best defender in the league, or at least in the top 3.
And some changes here for the Warriors. Iguodala comes in for Kevin Durant. And it's Lamb in there for Klay Thompson. Now here's Vasquez, guarded by Curry. Here's Kufis, and he takes the fantastic lead pass up strong for the slam.
Great instincts on this. There's times that play perfect.
And with Draymond's defense, he's finished second in the Defensive Player of the Year awards a couple times now.
Think about this. With Draymond, it just isn't how he defends, it's also who he defends. He can honestly defend any player on the court, 1 through 5, and does it as well as anyone. He allows the Warriors to get away with so many lineups because they use him as a valuable defender who can switch off.
Here's Hollis Jefferson following the basket by Stephen Curry. Feeds it to Vasquez. No good from outside.
And the shots just continue to say no in terms of quality.
And Draymond Green picks up the foul. That is his first foul of the game.
Yeah, clearly he hadn't established position there.
And Brooklyn making a change here. LeVert's checked in. Expanding his range. And Luis Scola, the bucket, and the assist by Vasquez. 7 points for Luis Scola. 1:52 left to play in the third. Curry kicks to Green. Outside Curry. He dishes it to Lamb. He kicks to West. Shot clock at 6. Shot from the low block. And it's out of bounds. The Nets will take it the other way.
We'll get a foul, ref.
And where the shots been coming from tonight? Here's a look broken down by paint, mid-range, and three-point shot attempts so far for the Warriors.
And you see not a lot of corner threes. The defense doing a good job of closing out and denying those shorter distance triples. That's what the smart teams have to do.
1:30 left here in the third quarter. Vasquez kicks to Kufis. And here's Vasquez. He's got 12. LeVert the pass to Stroke. The Nets working the ball around now. Vasquez can't get it to go.
He has been ice cold from beyond the arc here.
Oh, get out of here.
Continues yet to fire away. He has got to tone it down if he wants to help his team.
Now, here's Kufis.
Look
After
at
the
the
miss
ball
from
movement.
Stephen
They don't
Curry.
do anything
Pass to
with it.
Vasquez.
No quality.
There's a screen. Here's LeVert. Lets it go from deep. They get it back. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
And while we got a chance, look at some numbers for Stephen Curry. 16th in scoring, 19th in field goal percentage, and he's in the top 20 in steals, bringing that focus and intensity at both ends.
Being so thin, Lamb can find it hard to finish in traffic, but shows some toughness there.
The Nets have gone 8 of 6 with their second half shooting percentage, right at 50%. Now, here's Bennett. He's covered by Iguodala. Bennett kicks to Vasquez. And the Nets miss again. Warriors leading by 22 to the paint.
Oh,
Stolen by Bennett.
the door for the alley.
One-on-one fast break. Misses off the right iron. Curry wide open, and another 3 for Golden State.
Be careful. This is where Steph is near impossible to slow down. Open court in transition.
Oh,
And at the end of the third quarter, a huge lead, and this one may already have been decided. The Warriors on top, just dominating this one. It's the
no big deal, says the commentators.
Oracle Arena,
Didn't happen.
Oakland, California.
Just a full court Hail Mary.
Welcome you back as we get going here in the fourth quarter. The final quarter of play can change everything. It's the Nets now. And Brooklyn, looking who they've got. They've got Brook Lopez. Kufis out there with Ryan Anderson. And it's Bogdanovich in at the 2 spot. That one falls.
Love the tenacity. That's money in tight against the pressure.
Golden State's gotten off 12 shots from beyond the arc tonight, hitting 7 of them. Curry kicks to Iguodala. Iguodala setting the pick for Thompson. Back to Iguodala. Stolen by Anderson.
Too many passes.
From 17 feet out, Warriors with the rebound. Pachulia's got rebound number 9 now. What an effort here tonight. And Kevin Durant with his line.
And what is crazy is that it doesn't look like it's hard for Durant out there. It's like he's bored with dismantling every defense he sees.
Here's LeVert. Lopez a screen. There's the pick. Dishes to Bogdanovich. Loses the defender with the screen and drills the jumper.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agenda.
Now Curry. Pass to Iguodala.
Oh,
Stolen by
how does he get
Anderson.
that?
He tries for 3.
No way.
And again,
Oh.
with the triple.
If you give him his space, he can really burn you from out there.
Warriors leading by 17. Just over a minute and a half right here in the fourth. Hollis Jefferson's check in for Brooklyn. Thompson outside. Now the feed to Pachulia. Iguodala dishes to Curry. Shot clock at 5. Stolen.
Fuck.
In transition, here come the Nets. Rebound by Iguodala.
Well, they've been better than good on the glass today, and there is a glaring discrepancy between these two teams in that area.
Well, Chris, we have a question for you sent from one of our fans from Todd up in New Hampshire. They want to know what your favorite moment was as an NBA player. A question I'm also curious to know.
Wow. My favorite moment as an NBA player, very honestly, I would say, would be the day of being drafted. I mean, you know, after then you have so many great moments, so many players that you play with that you love to play with. It's hard to separate anything without disrespecting another moment. So I just really feel that the greatest moment of my career was stepping on that stage in Detroit at the Palace in my hometown with my finger up and just knowing that I made it. You know, for all of us, the goal is to make it. It's not about to be a Hall of Famer. It's not about to be an All-Star. It's not about to win a championship, even though those are dreams. But you can't do it until you know you make it. And so for me, putting that suit on, seeing my father shed tears, you know, seeing my mother's eyes and the twinkle she had in her eyes, seeing my brothers and 3 brothers and my sister, how happy they were, you know, that definitely was the moment because it was a family moment and it was for Detroit. So it was special.
Well said.
He's feeling it this half. Total turnaround after a rough first half.
Stolen by Anderson. LeVert, and he jams it with authority.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came upright with the steal, he went straight on the attempt.
And how about the explosiveness he shows, going from the offensive to the defensive end in a blink?
He gets the rim with a 2-handed slam.
Wow. Oh, fellas, that was vicious 2-hand monster slam.
Guys, I don't think there was anyone who could have stopped him on that one. Hit by Pachulia. Thompson passes to Durant. Sign call, and he draws the foul. A chance for another point at the free throw line. That's on Brook Lopez.
I mean, he's just been brilliant today, guys, and it was the same exact story last time out.
Vasquez, he's checked in for Brooklyn.
And you know there's something hypnotic about watching Durant shoot the ball, the calm, the consistency, the precision. This is what he was born to do.
Warriors leading by 19. Curry gets to Durant. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up.
And one thing I don't think Kevin Durant gets enough credit for is his mental toughness. He is rarely shaken or thrown off his game if things aren't going his way, and always remains focused on winning and doesn't let too much throw him off court.
Now here's Vasquez. And there's the pass to LeVert. Releases, and Pachulia pulls it down. Pachulia's got 11 rebounds in the game. And Curry, the bucket on the assist by Durant. It's now 23 points for Steph Curry.
After a trying first half where he struggled with the shot, he's really found his rhythm, shooting the rock in the second half.
Vasquez kicks to Anderson. Yep, that one goes. Anderson's got 13 points in the second half.
And after an abysmal first half from the field, the shots now starting to fall.
On the way, Iguodala. Pass to Pachulia. Durant in the corner. 6 on the shot clock. And then Durant with the top.
Not too far at all. He's shooting it well and scoring points in bunches.
The Nets have gotten exactly 2/3 of their shots to find the bottom of the net here in the fourth. 8-12. Kicks to Vasquez. Down low, Anderson. Durant with some nice D.
Oh, tight defense being played right there. Got right up. Oh, and watch out, you don't bring the whole basket down on top of you, young fella.
I don't think he ever wanted to let go of the rim. Oh, that was a great angle we just saw. Courtesy of Kia. Anderson passes to LeVert. Another one falls for Brooklyn.
Okay, nice job here in the second half. Field goal percentage is way up from what it was at halftime when it was just barely above 30%.
Outside Durant. Out to the wing.
Nice.
Nice work. Curry's got 9 points in the quarter.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Vasquez with it. Anderson the screen. And Bogdanovic out top the key. Top of the key jumper, no good.
Beautiful execution in terms of creating space for his shot. He just couldn't get that one fall.
Shot's good by Iguodala.
But every time he gets scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
And here's Vasquez. Pass to LeVert. Anderson, a screen on Thompson. The dish to Vasquez. No good from outside.
Well, perhaps he believes he'll be able to shoot himself out of this slump, but I don't see it. He needs to quit shooting those threes.
Iguodala kicks to Thompson. Back to Iguodala. Out to Thompson. Picked his pocket. Out of bounds. Golden State takes possession.
I tell you what, he clearly had a brain freeze on that one. You might just as well keep going straight to the bench.
Looking at who's out there now for the Warriors. Anderson Varejao checked in for Chile. West comes in for Andre Iguodala. McCaw, he's checked in for Thompson. And Brian Roberts subbed in for Curry. Picked by West. Outside for Durant.
Shot the three.
You know, Kobe Bryant retired last season. One thing that Chrissy's been really adamant about is the need to improve youth development of basketball in this country. He grew up in the league and feels like a lot of kids aren't getting the coaching and skill development they need at a young age here. What do you think?
I agree. I think a lot of the game is being lost, not necessarily with just highlights or superstar players, but I mean the true essence of the game, how to box out, how to make a bounce pass, how to play for your teammates. Just the culture of the game needs to go back to its origin. And I think that can happen through the NBA taking charge like they have in this. I mean, who better than the best players in the best league, the best commissioner in the world? And so I think it's great that we get involved in these communities and make sure that we set the tempo and the template for how the game is grown in these communities.
That was well said. Miami's checked in for McCaw. And David West flips them both. There's Whitehead. He feeds it to Harris.
Jeez, they're playing like last place in the conference right now. They're terrible.
Knocks it loose. Stolen by Varejao. Here's Durant.
Great scorers find a way to get themselves to the free throw line. Kevin Durant certainly falls into that category.
Good from Durant. Rubis checked in from Ryan Anderson. And so he makes both from the line. Brooklyn's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. Whitehead passes to Onuaku. Harris outside. Feeds it to Bennett. Nice ball movement by Brooklyn. Down to 5 on the shot clock. The Nets need to get a shot off here. Dishes it to Koufos. They can't stop the run with that one. Golden State's gone downtown 13 times in this game, and they're just over 50%. 7 of 13 on threes.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for the Warriors.
This was a team performing.
Knew that wasn't going to end well.
Fullest capability.
A hugely satisfying win. A game that not many will soon forget. And on the other side, one that I think most will try to forget.
And when you look at the season for these guys, they have amassed a lot of wins, 57, and adding in tonight will make it 58.
A 2-game season series, they win them both and complete the sweep. And what a huge standout performance it was for Kevin Durant. Every time he shot it seemed like it was
Good play, that guy. Glad I got him.
Everyone was surprised.
Pass to Onuaku. There's the pick. Back to Harris. There's the pass to Whitehead. From 12 feet out. Here's Koufos. Doesn't get it to drop.
Rebound.
Nice D from Varejao. And there's the feed to Lamb. He dishes it to Roberts.
Oh.
And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. The first free throw is good. He's perfect from the line this time. 6 seconds left in the game. Whitehead. So we see the Warriors taking the game here. This
Training run.
That
wasn't the most exciting game.
performance they put on.
I know their fans appreciated it, and we saw at times just stretches of excellent defense. Potency from an offensive standpoint as well. They were pretty much dominant.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks very much, Kevin. We expect big games from you. How do you put together 4 quarters of excellence like tonight?
Well, I'm just playing off my teammates. I'm not trying to force anything. Taking the defense with me, and I'm big aggressive.
Yeah, you set the tone tonight and got the win. Thanks very much, Kevin. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Chris Webber, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. And now to our good friend Ernie Johnson, who is standing by in the studio.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Kevin, thank you. Superb. And now let's move on to the presentation of our Jordan player of the game, Kevin Durant. What an irrefutable force he was in the fourth quarter. The other side did everything it could to try and slow him down, but obviously, to no avail.
And you want to talk about domination? You want to talk about domination? This is it tonight. The combination of talent, competitive spirit was unmatched tonight. Adjustments were made by the other side, but when they made them, he adjusted right back.
He loves playing in front of his home crowd. He looked like he was having a blast out there. And he gave them a lot to cheer about. Whether he was scoring or doing something else, he was involved in so many big plays.
And that'll wrap things up. Thank you for joining us. For Shaquille O'Neal, for Kenny the Jet Smith,
That'll wrap things up for
Kevin
me.
Harlan, wherever he
Take it easy, guys.
and for the rest of the 2K Sports crew,
Please sub.
best in the business. This is Ernie Johnson. Good night.